it is not yet necessary to start reducing rates. The US Federal Reserve's implementation of easing policies has not been expected or evaluated by us among the videos on this channel since last year. The reason for this is that the hexagrams in the Hedging, or Book of Changes, indicate that the process of cutting rates is not yet initiated. Ever feel like the world's gone bonkers? Yeah, us too. Good news is the ancients saw it coming. Thousands of years ago, the Chinese were way ahead of the game. They wrote the book on change, literally. It's called the Hedging, and it's like the original What to Expect When You're Expecting. Anything. Think of it as your cheat sheet for navigating life's roller coaster. Now we know what you're thinking. Ancient Chinese book? Sounds complicated. Well, it's not as scary as it seems. The Hedging is based on 64 hexagrams, which are like little snapshots of different situations. Think of them as emojis for life's big questions. Each hexagram is made up of 6 lines, and each line can be either yin or yang. Yin is like the chill, laid-back friend. Yang is the energetic one who's always up for anything. Together they create a dynamic balance, kind of like a good cup of coffee. And speaking of conversations, there's one hexagram we need to talk about. The 64th, also known as Weiji. Now this one's a bit of a head-scratcher. It's called before completion, which is kind of like saying you're almost there but not quite. Talk about a cliffhanger. But that's the beauty of the I Ching. It doesn't always give you all the answers. It makes you think, it makes you question, it makes you want to pull your hair out in a good way, we promise. So, what does this before completion business have to do with us? Well, it just so happens that the 64th hexagram perfectly captures the state of the world today, a world teetering on the edge of, well, something. We're not sure what, but it's definitely interesting. Think about it. The economy is doing its best impression of a roller coaster. Politics is a 3-ring circus, and don't even get us started on the environment. Right then, lads and lasses, gather round. We're about to delve into a real humdinger of a hexagram, the 64th Weiji. Now, this one's a bit of a puzzle, a real head-scratcher. You see, it's all about things not quite being, well, finished. It's like ordering a cuppa and finding out they've run out of biscuits. Utterly disappointing, isn't it? The Hedging, clever as it is, doesn't always tie things up in a neat little bow. Instead, it leaves us hanging on a bit of a cliffhanger with this Weiji business. But don't fret, my dears, there's a method to this madness. This not quite there yet state is a bit like life itself, wouldn't you say? Always a work in progress, full of unexpected twists and turns. Think of it this way, imagine you're setting off on a grand adventure, a right, jolly good trek across the wilderness. You've packed your bags, laced up your boots, and you're raring to go. Now the Hedging, being the wise old sage it is, often speaks in metaphors, and Weiji is no exception. The hexagram is often associated with a rather charming tale of a little fox attempting to cross a river. Now this isn't just any fox, mind you, but a rather impetuous fellow eager to reach the other side. Picture this. The little fox, full of beans and a false sense of confidence, decides to dash across the river without a second thought. He plunges headfirst into the current, convinced of his own agility. But alas, dear viewers, the river is deeper than he anticipates, and his bushy tail ends up taking an unscheduled dip. Now, let's delve a bit deeper into the symbolism of this curious hexagram, shall we? Weiji is composed of 2 trigrams, Li, representing fire at the top, and Kan, representing water at the bottom. Now, anyone who's ever attempted to extinguish a bonfire with a teacup knows that water and fire don't exactly get along. This clash of elements, my friends, is a visual representation of the inherent tension and instability that characterizes the before completion phase. It's like trying to blend oil and vinegar. They just don't mix, no matter how hard you shake them up. But here's the thing about Weiji, my inquisitive viewers. It's not about fearing the unknown or becoming paralyzed by indecision. It's about recognizing that life is a journey, not a destination. It's about embracing the detours, the unexpected turns, and yes, even the occasional wet tail moment. You see, before completion isn't a failure, it's a state of becoming. It's about the lessons learned along the way, the wisdom gained from our missteps, and the resilience we develop by picking ourselves up, dusting ourselves off, and venturing forth once more. All right, you brilliant minds, put on your thinking caps. We're about to bridge the gap between ancient wisdom and modern-day money matters. Because believe it or not, this hedging malarkey isn't just for philosophers and fortune tellers. It's got some cracking insights for navigating the economic roller coaster we call life. You see, the markets, much like a mischievous sprite, have a knack for keeping us on our toes. One minute they're soaring high, the next they're plummeting faster than a dropped scone at a garden party. And in these uncertain times, my friends, a little ancient wisdom can be as valuable as a winning lottery ticket. Now, we're not saying the Yi Jing can predict the next stock market crash, though wouldn't that be something? But what it can do is provide a framework for understanding the cyclical nature of things. Right then, let's talk about something everyone loves: shiny things. Gold and silver, those glittering beacons of value, have been a source of fascination and anxiety for centuries. And in times of economic uncertainty, my friends, these precious metals become more alluring than a plate of freshly baked scones, almost. You see, when the markets get jittery, investors tend to flock to gold and silver like pigeons to a freshly baked loaf. Why, you ask? Because these metals are seen as safe havens, a hedge against inflation, a refuge from the storm. Think of them as the economic equivalent of a warm cup of tea on a chilly day. Now, a slight uptick in gold and silver prices, as we're seeing now, isn't necessarily cause for alarm. It's more like a gentle tap on the shoulder, a reminder that investors are feeling a tad cautious. Now let's talk about palladium, shall we? This lesser-known precious metal, often overshadowed by its flashier cousins gold and silver, has been quietly making a name for itself. And by quietly, we mean surging in price like a caffeinated squirrel. You see, palladium, unlike its more cautious counterparts, is a bit of a risk-taker. It's a key component in catalytic converters, those emissions-reducing devices found in vehicles. So, when the automotive industry is booming, palladium prices tend to follow suit. Now, this recent surge in palladium prices could be a sign of a healthy automotive industry, a sign that people are buying cars and feeling confident about the future. Right then, let's talk about the unsung heroes of the industrial world: base metals. These workhorses of the material world, from copper to aluminum to nickel and zinc, may not have the glamorous appeal of gold and silver, but they're the backbone of modern manufacturing. Now, unlike precious metals, which are often driven by fear and uncertainty, base metal prices are more closely tied to the real economy, to the forces of supply and demand. Think of them as the barometers of industrial activity, the gauges that tell us how much stuff we're making and using. When base metal prices are rising, it's usually a sign that factories are humming, construction is booming, and the global economy is chugging along. But when those prices start to fall, it can be a sign of trouble brewing, a signal that demand is waning and economic activity is slowing. All right, petrol heads and gearheads, listen up. Ever wonder what those fluctuating commodity prices actually mean for your beloved four-wheeled companions? Well, buckle up, because we're about to take a wild ride through the metals market and its impact on the automotive industry. You see, those shiny chariots we all know and love are more than just engines and horsepower. They're intricate puzzles of metal, plastic and technology, all held together by the invisible hand of, you guessed it, commodity prices. Think of it like this: when the price of steel goes up, your new car payment might follow suit. Now, the automotive industry, clever as a mechanic with a wrench, tries its best to absorb these price swings. But sometimes, my friends, those swings are more like a demolition derby, and something's got to give. That's when we see car prices creep up faster than a speeding ticket on a bank holiday weekend. But it's not just the price of steel that matters. Let's talk aluminum, shall we? This lightweight wonder metal is everywhere in the automotive industry, from body panels to engine blocks to those snazzy wheels you love so much. Why? Because aluminum is like the marathon runner of metals, strong, durable and surprisingly light on its feet. Now, when the price of aluminum goes up, car manufacturers feel the pinch. Suddenly, those lightweight components start to feel a bit heavier on the balance sheet, and just like that, you might find yourself paying a premium for that fuel-efficient aluminum frame. But here's the kicker: aluminum isn't just for cars. Oh no, my friends, this versatile metal is also a key ingredient in, wait for it, beer cans. So when aluminum prices soar, you might find yourself shelling out a few extra quid for that refreshing pint after a long drive. The perils of a globalized economy, eh? Now, let's shift gears from the open road to the digital highway. Those sleek smartphones and shiny laptops are more than just silicon and software. They're products of the metals market, linked to fluctuating prices of commodities like copper, gold, and rare earth elements.
Beneath those exteriors lies a complex network of circuitry, all hungry for precious metals. Copper, with its excellent conductivity, is the lifeblood of electronics. Gold ensures connections stay clean and reliable.
When commodity prices go haywire, the tech industry feels the tremors. Those gadgets start to look pricier as manufacturers grapple with rising material costs. Now let's take a moment to appreciate the incredible journey those metals make, from the depths of the earth to the palm of your hand. It's a complex global supply chain involving miners, smelters, manufacturers and distributors, all working in concert to bring those shiny gadgets to life.
And just like any good roller coaster, this journey is full of twists, turns, and unexpected drops. A strike at a copper mine in Chile, a flood at a rare earth processing plant in China, a trade war between economic superpowers. Any one of these events can send shockwaves through the system, disrupting supply chains and sending prices soaring.
But here's the thing about the global economy: it's a resilient beast. When one path is blocked, another one usually opens up. Manufacturers find alternative suppliers, engineers develop new materials, and consumers adapt their spending habits. It's a constant game of adaptation and innovation, a high-stakes dance between supply and demand.
So, the next time you pick up your smartphone or power on your laptop, take a moment to appreciate the incredible journey those metals have made. From the mines to the motherboards, it's a testament to human ingenuity and our insatiable appetite for technological marvels. And who knows what exciting new materials and innovations await us in the future? Only time and commodity prices will tell.
All right, brilliant minds, time to put on our strategist hats. We've traversed the treacherous terrain of fluctuating markets, explored the impact of commodities on our beloved gadgets and automobiles, and now it's time to chart a course through this tumultuous economic sea.
Think of it as composing a symphony, but instead of musical notes, we're dealing with market trends, investment strategies, and a dash of ancient wisdom for good measure. Remember Wei-Ji, our trusty hexagram of before completion? It's not about predicting the future with pinpoint accuracy, but rather about understanding the cyclical nature of things, the ebb and flow of fortune, and the importance of adapting to the ever-changing rhythm of the markets.
So how do we avoid becoming a deer in the headlights when the markets throw a tantrum? By channeling our inner grandmasters, of course. It's about thinking several steps ahead, anticipating potential pitfalls, and always having a backup plan or two.
Just like a seasoned chess player analyzes the board, we need to scrutinize the economic landscape, decipher the signals, and make calculated moves. Remember, in the game of finance, fortune favors the prepared mind.
Now, in a world obsessed with instant gratification and overnight success, patience might seem as outdated as a rotary phone. But trust me, my friends, in the realm of finance, patience is not a virtue, it's a necessity.
Remember the tale of the little fox, our furry friend who learned the hard way about the perils of impatience? Well, the same principle applies to investing. Trying to time the market perfectly, to catch every peak and trough, is like trying to herd cats, a recipe for frustration and potential disaster.
Instead of chasing after every fleeting opportunity, embrace the power of waiting for the right moment. Just like a seasoned gardener patiently tends to their crops, nurturing them through seasons of growth and dormancy, we too must cultivate patience in our financial endeavors. Remember, Rome wasn't built in a day, and neither is a solid investment portfolio.
By focusing on long-term growth, riding out the inevitable market fluctuations, and resisting the urge to panic sell at the first sign of trouble, we can weather any storm and emerge stronger on the other side.
Let's face it, uncertainty is as much a part of life as tea and biscuits. We can either let it paralyze us with fear, or we can embrace it as an opportunity for growth and learning.
And who better to guide us on this journey of embracing the unknown than our little fox friend? Remember his daring dash across the river? Sure, it resulted in a soggy tale, but it also taught him a valuable lesson about assessing risks, adapting to unexpected challenges, and the importance of a good pair of waterproof boots.
In the same vein, we too must learn to navigate the unpredictable waters of the financial world with a healthy dose of caution, adaptability, and a willingness to learn from our mistakes. Because let's face it, in the game of finance, everyone gets a soggy tale now and then.
The key is to not let those setbacks define us. Instead, we must analyze what went wrong, adjust our approach, and emerge stronger and wiser. Remember, every misstep is an opportunity for a comeback, a chance to rewrite our financial narratives.
Observing, analyzing, and deciding. Let's translate this ancient wisdom into actionable steps. We need a practical plan for navigating the financial labyrinth.
Think of yourself as a financial detective piecing together clues. Remember Sherlock Holmes's famous adage? Data, data, data! I can't make bricks without clay.
Where do we begin our investigation?
1. Observation is key. Pay close attention to market trends and economic indicators. Read financial news, follow expert analysis, but maintain skepticism.
2. Data is your friend. Delve into the numbers and analyze historical data. Knowledge is power, especially in finance.
3. Think long-term. Focus on building a diversified portfolio. Slow and steady wins the race.
4. Seek expert advice. Consult with financial advisors, mentors, or experienced investors. They can provide valuable insights and help you navigate complex financial instruments.
Investing is a marathon, not a sprint. Embrace patience, adaptability, and continuous learning to navigate the financial landscape confidently.
Wei Ji, our enigmatic companion on this whirlwind tour of ancient wisdom and modern mayhem. Remember that feeling of anticipation, that sense of not quite there yet that we've been exploring? Well, my friends, it's not a bug, it's a feature. You see, life, much like the global economy, is a perpetual work in progress. It's a never-ending dance between order and chaos, certainty and uncertainty, a constant state of becoming. And just when we think we've got it all figured out, along comes a curveball to remind us that the only constant is change itself. But here's the beauty of it all. This before completion phase, this perpetual state of flux, is where the magic happens. It's in the spaces between certainty and doubt, in the moments of both triumph and tribulation, that we truly grow, learn, and evolve. Wei Ji, with its paradoxical wisdom, urges us to embrace the unknown, to find comfort in the discomfort, and to remember that the journey itself is just as important as the destination, if not more so. As we stand at this juncture, gazing out at the vast and ever-changing landscape, remember the key takeaways from Wei Ji. Think of these as your compass points, guiding you through life and finance. Embrace the uncertainty. The future is not set in stone. Be prepared to adapt your plans. Patience is a superpower. Cultivate the art of patience. Rome wasn't built in a day, and neither is a secure financial future. Think long-term, ride out the storms, and trust in the process. So, the next time you find yourself feeling overwhelmed by the complexities of life, the uncertainties of the markets, or the sheer absurdity of it all, remember this: you're not alone. The ancients faced similar challenges, and they left behind a treasure trove of wisdom in the form of the I Ching. Think of the I Ching as your pocket guide to the cosmos, a source of timeless wisdom that can help you navigate the ups and downs, the twists and turns, and the occasional loop-de-loops of life. Now, we're not saying the Yi Jing is a magic bullet, a guaranteed recipe for financial success, or a way to predict the winning lottery numbers. Though, wouldn't that be something? But what it can do is provide a fresh perspective, a sense of calm amidst the chaos, and a reminder that even in the face of uncertainty there's always hope, humor, and the potential for growth. And so, my fellow travelers on this journey of discovery, we've reached the end of our exploration, or perhaps just the beginning. The Yi Jing, with its infinite wisdom, invites us to return again and again, to delve deeper into its mysteries and to discover new layers of meaning with each reading. Remember, the Yi Jing is not a book to be read once and then shelved. It's a living, breathing text, meant to be consulted, pondered, and debated. So, the next time you find yourself at a crossroads, facing a difficult decision, or simply in need of a fresh perspective, reach for the Yi Jing. Throw the coins, consult the hexagrams, and see what wisdom the ancient masters have to offer. Until next time, keep calm, consult the Yi Jing, and never stop exploring the fascinating intersection of ancient wisdom and modern life. Cheers to that. Let's keep things simple, shall we? We've realized that mixing ancient Eastern wisdom with modern financial strategies isn't just doable, it's downright brilliant. Who knew? It's like finding out that crumpets and jam are a match made in heaven. Mind-blowing. Steering your business with these principles is like a breath of fresh air, isn't it? So keep your chin up. These age-old gems are exactly what businesses need, not just to survive, but to absolutely flourish. Now, about balance? It's a bit like walking a tightrope, but don't worry. You've got a safety net. The economy's a bit of a roller coaster, so clever, balanced strategies that keep you on your toes are the way to go. The global market. It's not all sunshine and rainbows, it's got a bit of everything. Some good, some not so good, and a pinch of what's next. And let's not forget, every region has its own quirks, thanks to where they are on the globe. But don't panic. With a bit of tech wizardry, like AI and neural networks, we can make sense of it all in real time, tailoring our insights to suit each region's vibe. Want to stay ahead without breaking a sweat? Tune in to our weekly videos. We'll keep you informed and entertained, all while you enjoy your cuppa. In these unpredictable times, adaptability is key. Think of it like having a trusty brolly. You might not always need it, but when you do, you'll be glad you have it. Whether you're an investment pro or just starting out, our latest videos will help you make smarter choices. And remember, knowledge isn't just for showing off at dinner parties, it's your secret weapon. Got something on your mind? Drop us a message. We're here for you. And as we wrap up, a massive thank you to all our lovely viewers for your support. If today's video gave you a smile or an aha moment, give it a like so you can easily find it again later. Cheers, and thanks ever so much for watching.